Hey everybody, thanks for being here. This week we're on the Mid-Columbia for a unique guided experience, a combo trip for both steelhead and walleye. Brought to you by Corning Ford, Procure, Clackercraft, Yakima Bait, P-Line, Max Lure, Fishfield, Brad's Fishing, Arctic Fox Trolling Flies, Ole's Charters, Fishhawk Electronics, and Fishang Products. Now, if you want to learn how to catch more fish, stay tuned. I'm Justin Wolf and this is Angler West Television. We're on the Columbia River just above McNary Dam with Phil Vijero and Dave Gottschalk, who are fishing with guide Jaime Rodriguez, first targeting steelhead.
So today we're steelhead fishing in the Lake Wallula pool. We're floating bobbers and jigs tipped with coon shrimp, dyed coon shrimp. We got some pink and some red out there. Looks like we're the first ones in the drift, so our lures will get seen first this morning. Yeah, so we're not in your typical steelhead waters where we got fast moving current, but we are in a unique place in itself because these fish that are here are headed either upriver the Columbia through to the Columbia or to one of its tributaries. They're headed up the Snake. They're headed, I believe some of these are headed actually to the Clearwater as well. So this is just kind of a holding area for them. And these are actually, if I'm not mistaken, these are summer run fish towards the end. We don't get winter steelhead up here. Winter steelhead are mainly in your coastal rivers. No, you're good. Yeah, that guy's he's still intact as long as we still have the head and the body. But the head, if the head would have fell off, we would have replaced. But you're good to go. Medium-sized shrimp. Just simple way I hook it, just through the body, and I come out the head is how I do it.
It felt good for a second.
Oh, shrimp's a little on the crispy side, but it'll fish. Okay, there you go. Little toss, you'll be all right. Yeah, so you could sit on anchor and fish steelhead with your floats, but to kind of mimic a little bit of current, we're pretty much just slow trolling our floats. I like to keep anywhere from 0.5 to like a 0.9 speed. It kind of just depends on how much weight I have on my jig, because if we have our bobbers set at 5-6 feet and we go 0.9 miles per hour, so our bait's gonna lift and kind of get out of the strike zone. So I'll keep an eye on the graph and see where I'm marking fish and kind of adjust speed and weight to that. A tip, I guess, would be to always have your float at a slight angle. Nice job. Yep, you set your drag now. Good job, Phil. I got the net. Yep. Coming towards us. Go. Yep. Keep up with him. Yep. You got it. You got it, Phil. Okay. He ain't ready though. Yep. Just like that. Okay. Here we go. Give me his head. Oh, he ain't ready. He ain't ready. Oh, heck no, he ain't ready. Okay. You're good. Doing good. Doing good. There you go. Okay, now get on him right here. There you go. Good job. One more. Okay, we're gonna identify whether he's a hatchery, but I do see he does have an adipose intact. Hey.
Nice.
Yeah. But so what we're gonna do, we're gonna leave him in the net. We'll leave him in the net. If you could just, oh yeah, look what he did to that rock dancer. You freaking crushed it. Barbless, you probably don't even need the pliers. Those just come right out. And in the net just like that. Always want to keep them in the water. And it's just gonna be I could tail release him, or I could just kind of just get the net around him. There you goes. See ya.
Welcome back to Lake Wallula, part of the Columbia River and far from typical steelhead water. But the fish are here and they're hitting max rock dancer jigs tipped with coon shrimp under floats. But only hatchery fish can be retained.
So we're only allowed to keep 2 per person daily limit. But that one was obviously a wild, had an intact adipose fin, so we had to let her go. And we are seeing more wilds in this stretch than hatchery. But if you ask Phil, it was
great fight.
It was a good fight. So
fight.
they're worth coming out here, even if you want to just catch and release. They're worth the drive and the fight. It's fun. We got 2 different colors here: coon shrimp, medium to small size. I prefer. So they're very similar, but one's just a little bit darker. Through the back, and we're gonna come out the top of the head, just like that. You want to just expose the tip of the hook just a little bit. Fix your jig. And unique thing about the rock dancer is it's got that collar wrapped around where it'll hold this scent.
Wild pink.
Got the hot pink jig as well. And we did a little, he had a takedown.
Oh, yeah.
I like to first, before we dial in a program, I like to put out different colors. So we'll put on a darker pink on, darker red on his. It's gonna be shrimp. So I've been having a lot of success with the pinks. Phil caught his on the pink and black. So at first, especially if you're fishing multiple rods, it's always good to put different colors out there, selection, see what they want. If we catch a couple more on that pink, then we're all gonna switch to pink. But for right now, we got some pinks and we got some darks, we got some blacks. So we'll show you that if we need to switch. We got plenty of jigs, and I'm gonna go red. The inline weight, we're running 1 ounce floats out here. Your bobber stop, just extra flotation indicator on top. Your float, your inline weight, and then again, once we're mimicking the current by trolling. So in order to kind of curb, to keep your jig in the strike zone, I'll just put these little split shot weights on the leader to kind of keep your line from coming up too much. We have bucktail and marabou jigs, so to give those jigs just a little bit of action, and since we have really no, we don't have no extra line out, so it's pretty much the rod tip to the bobber, you're able to actually just kind of twitch it, and that'll just give that jig just a little bit more action. If you have a roller, an active feeding fish, that could actually entice a bite. I got them pre-tied. It's good to just do that the night before your trip. So I'm gonna go with a little bit lighter color pink. This is actually Max Rock Dancer's pink purple, 3 to 4 feet on the leader length, and fluorocarbon, 20-pound fluorocarbon. You want something just a little bit more beefier, just because, you could catch up to 36-inch steelhead, and you want to make sure you have a strong leader. We're running 1/4 ounce jig heads. You can go 3/8, you can go 1/8, but I found like a 1/4 ounce is just enough, so when we're trolling that 0.6 or a little bit faster, that it's gonna stay more into that water column where the fish are at. That's the steelhead. Steelhead tend to be in the higher levels of the water column.
This is the chromer.
Okay, where's he at?
He's coming around.
Okay, you're on this side? Okay, wherever you want to go, you just take them and I'll follow. There you go. Yep.
Yeah, he was pretty silver.
There he goes. Nice job, nice job. Okay, give me his head. Turn him if he's ready.
No, right.
Let him run. Yeah, so.
This is what it's all about.
Now lift up if he's ready.
Not quite.
Okay. And lift.
Come on, baby. Come on. Come on, get turned. Get turned. Sorry. He just does not want to get his head around. Oh, yeah.
Good job, dude. Good job. Oh, hooks out. Barbless.
That's what I was worried about. It's a barbless.
And he's a wild.
Dang it.
You got a
Yep.
intact adipose fin.
Beautiful fish, though.
Oh yeah, give you some aerial views. So luckily today we're gonna do a combo trip. So from Steelhead, we're gonna switch gears and go to walleye fishing.
We're going back to the Columbia River, but first, here's your Fishfield Tackle Connection. Now, if you want to up your shrimp curing game, go to fishfield.com and order yourself a jar of the ProCure Keith Archer Shrimp Cure. That stuff was a secret recipe for many years, but now it's available for you. Now, let's go back to the Columbia River, see if we can't catch some walleye. We've had a fun morning of steelhead fishing, but now we'll trailer the boat several miles below McNary Dam to target the Columbia's substantial walleye population.
Yeah, so we switched gears. We're now gonna target walleye. Different, same system, just a different stretch of the river. We'd be more in the mid Columbia river, and we're gonna go out there and try to catch some walleyes. So this time of year, walleyes typically tend to go a little bit deeper in the water column. With that being said, big walleye tend to stay a little bit shallower. We're not trying to target big walleye right now. I mean, you never know what you're gonna catch, but typically speaking, walleye seek deeper, warmer water this time of year. The water temperature is like mid 45s. So we're looking for drop-offs, steep drop-offs. We're looking at shallow areas next to deep drop-offs where walleye could ambush, because they're ambush predators. And we're actually looking for weeds as well. We're looking for any kind of weed beds because they'll still be in the weeds. Okay, so we're gonna run worm harnesses right now. It's a good way to cover water, locate fish. Double hook setup, and then we're gonna go with actually a larger profile smile blade. This is the 1.9, and we'll play with colors until we get a program dialed in. So this one has the glow with the red float. Nose hook it, very simple. I don't do any threading, anything fancy, just like that. And these walleyes typically will peck at the tail this time of year, so I want to just shorten that up just so I could get that end closer to that back hook, make sure that we get a hook up. And I'll save these pieces just in case, and then we'll do the same with this rig as well. This has got the red 1.9 sparkle. Double hook setup, simple, just right to the top of the worm. Go about halfway down the collar, stretch it out just a hair, and then we'll just pinch that. Yep. So you're gonna drop straight out the side. I'm gonna drop out the side and then fill straight out the back. You guys have both 4 ounces of lead, so just on the drop, just make sure somebody's dropping ahead of the other so we don't get tangled on the drop. Because sometimes I'll turn the boat and we could go. So right now in 60 feet of water. And then once we'll kind of get dialed in right now after we drop. And this setup is going to be, I put 2 pill floats on it with the 1.5 diamond glow smile blade. So speed wise, typically a general rule of thumb is the warmer the water, the faster you're going to go. My target right now is going to be anywhere from 0.7 to 1 miles per hour. The water temperature, like I mentioned earlier, is 45 degrees. So you want to just slow it down this time of year. Is it a steelhead?
No, maybe a little perch.
Let's see what you got.
Nothing.
Oh, you missed him?
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to when we're steelhead fishing and you know the bobber goes down, you want to really lay into them. It's similar but different. With the walleye, you don't want to do that because you're just gonna pull it out of their mouth. You want to make sure that you feed them, they eat it, and it's more like a sweeping hook set, just to snug it up. Let's see if I can demonstrate for you. Feels perchy.
Nice perch.
And I was right.
Nice perch.
So yellow perch share the same water as walleyes. This is actually yellow perch is actually a cousin of the walleye. The main difference though would be you could actually lip a perch. You can't lip walleye.
So you can lip a walleye once.
We've got more fishing to do, but first, here's your Yakima Bait Minute. In this episode for the Steelhead, and in probably every episode that we've done using floats, you've probably noticed that a corky is placed on top of the float. Now what that does is it acts as an indicator that everything's okay. You didn't tangle up when you casted, and your float's in line and working correctly, and everything's all good. Now the corky is an extremely versatile little tool. If you don't have any corkies in your box, you've got a problem to solve. Welcome back to the Columbia River, where we're targeting walleye, but so far only perch are jumping into the boat. But we know that the walleye are close by.
When you find perch, walleyes are going to be nearby. And we found a school of perch back there. So we're just going to bump over a little bit deeper with the idea of finding the walleye. Once you find the walleye, then you know they're fairly easy to catch, but the hard part with walleye fishing is locating the school. So we're out here, we're giving it a shot. We're freezing, but for a good reason. We located 2 of them at least. Let's drop a worm down there and see if we can catch them.
Yeah, your crystal ball's a little cloudy this morning.
I think it's a bass. Or it's a walleye with a little bit of shoulders.
Let's let them out the corner right there off the right. There you go. Walleye, nice one.
Nice. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a beauty. Oh, yes.
Okay, so walleyes do exist.
Yeah.
And
this is what they look like.
this is what they look like. And this is what we catch them with. So you just want to be careful handling a walleye. Yep, Phil did a great job of buttoning them up right here. Oh, shit. Yep.
Another good one.
So
Nice.
there's Phil's fish.
Right on.
And I'm just holding it.
Just holding it.
There you go. Good job. That's a beautiful fish.
That's gorgeous.
Yep.
Big old belly.
Yeah, so Phil was getting picked up. He actually, that was his 3rd bite. We weren't able to connect on the other 2, and he actually brought up a good idea. He was thinking maybe that the weight, they were feeling the weight of the bottom bouncer, and once they felt that weight, they all of a sudden they weren't interested anymore. So we went to a little lighter bottom bouncer, got to the bottom, and then he hooked up. Yeah,
Yep.
essentially what happened.
At first I thought it was a bass just because it kind of did a lot of tail. Usually walleye, they'll drive back down, but this one felt, because it had a little more shoulders to it. And a bass will go sideways and mostly come all the way back up to the top.
There's a healthy population of smallmouth bass in the Columbia River, and they as well, they share the same water column as perch, walleye, and we'll even get catfish doing this as well. Yeah, the last walleye we caught spit up some shad, so I think I'm almost out of this stuff, but this stuff is always on the boat. And it's so much always on the boat.
Yeah.
Back up.
I thought I'd seen yours go down and come back up, but then I was like watching it with a steel reeling, and it was like it didn't do it no more.
I like to put mine underneath the small blade. Get her down.
It's just a perch. Or a very, very small walleye.
Jumbo.
Jumbo. We'll take it. Jeez, look at that belly. Oh!
What happened?
He plopped off. Oh. How's that? Made for TV. There you go.
Look at that.
He earned himself a fish taco. Okay. Yeah, he thumped it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting the net, guys. Don't make me regret it. Where's he going?
It's right here.
He's going over there. It's a good fish. Whatever it
There
is.
it is. It's a walleye. Mr. Gator.
Nice job.
Nice. Nice fish.
There we go. This is the one we want.
Heck yeah. That thing hammered it.
Walleye.
Nice. See, I just need to insult you.
Net.
Yeah, need the net.
Uh-oh, should have got a net.
Oh, that's a nice fish. Well, they swallowed both hooks.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not jumping in after that.
Now this is a perch. Walleye.
No.
That one I don't need the net, but it's a keeper.
That one's gonna skinny.
Yep. That's actually the ideal eater. Yep. Choked it again.
Yeah.
Hey, I hope you found today's episode valuable and it helps you catch more fish. And be sure to watch this episode again and hundreds of other episodes and helpful videos on the Angler West TV YouTube channel, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And remember, without our sponsors, there is no show, so please thank them when you can. Now get out there and do some great fishing.